Hey folks, it's Fernando doing our video for Tomorrow Survivalist, and in this case it's going to be a Pocket EDC update. I haven't done one of these in some time, mostly because there's really not a lot that has changed. Actually, I don't think anything specific has changed. Little comments here and there, some tweaks, but pretty much the same thing. And I guess that's the point. When you reach to a certain setup that you have which you're happy with and you know works well, there's really not a lot that changes all of a sudden. I don't believe in constantly changing things that I'm already happy with, just so as to try something new. Usually I get a pretty good idea already if there's something worth upgrading to. The best example would be in terms of flashlights. When some time goes by, eventually it gets to a point where technology really did advance and it's worth upgrading to something better, so you start checking reviews, seeing what's worth getting and such. But if not, I just stick with what I believe is best. So that's pretty much it. Let's get started. In terms of cell phones, still using the Note 2, which by now there's like Note 3, 4, I don't know if there's a 5 already. I'm happy enough with it. One of the changes though is that I replaced the battery. It was not really lasting that long anymore, so I went online, checked some of the reviews on Amazon, and went with a Anker rechargeable battery. It's working fine. I mean, it's a great phone. I like that it has that radio built in that is not using any internet bandwidth or anything like that. Just good old FM radio, which is just fantastic to have. And as a cell phone, really no complaints. Just upgrading to something more expensive, simply so as to be more, I don't know, trendy or whatnot. Not my thing, definitely. And massive screen, does everything that I need in terms of internet browsing as a phone. Powerful enough. The screen is its biggest asset, I suppose. And yeah, I use it around the house as well for quickly checking emails or even websites. The camera works nicely, and with the OtterBox Defender case, it's pretty much a bomb-proof phone that you have here. The clip hasn't, I don't know if you remember some time ago when I first got the OtterBox Defender for it, it broke, the clip broke. I contacted the people from OtterBox. They sent me a new one right away, and it hasn't failed me ever since. I did replace the built-in screen protector because it wasn't as clear as I would have liked, so that's something that I just removed it and put a different screen protector, which it basically works better that way. At least for me it does. Same wallet as before, my ugly, or according to some of you guys, my cool and nice looking, what is like a lemon green wallet. Just normal stuff in there, which I probably should address in another video. Some of the things that I do keep in the wallet, which I at least consider it normal, good practice. Maybe some of you folks know, but it's basically cash, a good amount of cash for emergencies. That's one of the most important things that I at least keep in my wallet. A few coins as well. Sometimes you just need those, and of course cards and such. That's basically it in terms of wallet. In terms of glasses, sunglasses, I'm using, these are the Wiley, what is it, X SG-1, or it's the classic Wiley X goggles with the head strap. I have either these ones or the revolvers. The revolvers lately, I'm keeping them in the car and using these when going out for for walks and that sort of thing, because now in summer a little bit more sunlight than the normal, so these are a little bit darker, so they work better for that kind of situation. Either one, the revolvers or these ones are excellent, very tough. These are shooting glasses, safety glasses, and at least for me, these are my daily sunglasses as well, my daily shades. And they're compact enough. With the strap, I keep in my jacket or in my windbreaker the little pouch, so as to keep them there whenever going indoors and not needing them. So it works pretty well in that regard. In terms of flashlight, it's either one of these. It's either the Eagle Tax D25C, which has been with me for some time. As you notice, in both cases, the whistle, which I think is very important to have one. It's one of those things that whenever you're going to be, if you ever need one, you will be happy to have it right there. Very visible cord, so as to not get it lost. And this one is using a rechargeable battery from Surefire. 16 340s, 180 milliamps, 3.6 volts. And yes, I do top it up every now and then, so as to make sure that I always have a good amount of battery in my flashlight. That's the advantage of using rechargeables. And this one is pretty old, man. I don't know how many years this battery has, but it's still working well. So Ultrafire, it's not the fanciest battery there is, but if you're halfway lucky, you're not going to be disappointed with it. And it's of course very, very bright. Now, on the other hand, the other one that I'm using a lot, I'd say that I use these two pretty much the same. You know, this one and this one, depending. It really depends on which one is closest that I'm grabbing before leaving, or depending on what is it that I'm doing. But even when I'm around the house, I always have a flashlight in my pockets, same way. So, and they have gone both in the washing machine several times, and I guess that's a little test on its own. This one is fancier because it's a titanium. This is the Through Night T10T, and this one I usually, you know what, if I have this one in the pocket, I usually end up going for this one if I keep it around my desk, because it has the option of using the twisty system instead. So for going to bed at night, if I stayed working late at night and I just don't want to be, bothering people, bothering my wife with a clicky button, I just use that interface instead, which is of course silent, and it has an advantage. And in this case as well, this uses either a AA battery, but you can also use a 14500 battery, which gives you a little bit more power, actually quite a bit more power and brightness. And again, you can constantly charge it, top it up, so as to make sure you always have the maximum amount of battery and not having to wait. If you're using primaries, the thing is that not only are you spending money buying primaries all the time, which may not be that much of a big deal because just a few bucks here and there for a CR1238 battery, it's not going to be killing you, but you just never know when you're going to be running out of battery. In this case, using a rechargeable one, you can always have a good amount of power left in your flashlight, which without it, it's of very little use. What else? Lighter, same lighter as always with the Thunderbird insert, which hasn't disappointed me yet, and exactly what I was looking for. Very happy that it worked as expected, because months go by since I'm not a smoker, and very rarely do I need to have fire, but I think that it's important enough to always have the ability to make a quick flame, not just a fire steel, because that's I mean, fire steels are great, they have their use, very clearly so, but when you need fire fast, this is the fastest way. You're always going to be beating anyone with a fire steel by doing just this. The guy with a fire steel has to get the tinder, make sure it's dry if he's not carrying a pouch full of tinder and such, and only then get a flame. Here with your good old lighter, you just have a flame right away. So yes, for bushcrafting kits and outdoors type of kits, and even pretty much any proper survival kit will have a fire steel, but for everyday carry, I think that a lighter makes a lot of sense, and it's quite nice as well. Pouch, yes, this is my little thing here, more like a pocket liner. As you see, it's all stuff that gets used, guys. This isn't stuff that I'm just doing for making a video. So as you see with some of my new jeans, as I've talked about in previous videos, I'm using more of the 50-50 blend jeans, polyester, cotton halfway, or 55% cotton, 45% polyester. They're more durable, they're tougher, and they dry faster, so they have certain advantages against the 100% cotton jeans, which are nice, are comfortable, but 100% cotton has a few disadvantages as well. So using this as a pocket liner, I simply keep my keys in here. That's pretty much the only purpose. But because of the leather pouch, it's not poking you through the thin fabric of the pockets. So that's something nice. And I keep here the headphones for the phone, because the phone without these, this works as an antenna, so without these I would not have my built-in FM radio in the cell phone. And the FM built-in radio is definitely something that I want to make sure I'll have available. If if there's no other way of knowing what's happening around you, the radio will be it. So I definitely want to have those. I have another set of headphones because what I realized is that if I was using these around the house as well, or when working out or whatnot, then I would just misplace them and not have them in the pouch. So I keep these in the pouch, and I actually got these ones, which are nicer, better sound quality and such. A flat type of tape. So yeah, these are nice, and these are the ones that I actually end up using the most. Those are basically so as to have ones with me at all times if I ever need it, but mostly working as an antenna. A keychain is the same stuff as always, really. The flashlight, I don't think that there's anything much better these days. Through night titanium Model T, 160 lumens with a AAA battery, which is insane. Starts with the moonlight mode, medium, and that high mode, which is still amazing after all this time. And then you have strobe mode as well. So very nice little flashlight in the keychain. A charger for the phone, USB charger, USB drive, cruiser fit with important files and such, little Pico pry bar, UV light, a Victorinox mini champ, the latest one that they have available, which has the pen and tweezers. No red lights. I don't need any lights, any more lights. I have plenty of them. So yeah, I sacrifice the light for the tweezers, given that I already have it. I have a flashlight here. I have a flashlight in the cell phone. I have an actual flashlight. 4 was a little bit of overkill, but the tweezers was something that I was willing to trade instead of a 4th flashlight. And of course, a ton of little tools in there. What else? Try not to forget anything. In terms of knives and such, these days I'm mostly going for this. I'm going for the Voyager. And the Leatherman Charge. The Leatherman Charge is a beast. It's a fantastic tool. I think they've come up with some new stuff. There's the latest Leatherman Signal, which is more outdoorsy survival. At least for me, I'd rather still have the Charge. That's just me. That's just my take on it. I think that the amount of tools that it has is just fantastic. The Signal, I think, has a fire steel and a little diamond sharpener and such. It's okay. I mean, I really haven't tried it, but based already on the specs and what it's offering, I would still just stick with the Charge. If I have one and I'll try it out and give you my honest opinion on it, yeah, that's fine. But at least for me, this is still the way to go. Yeah. If I have to, depending on where I am, what I'm doing exactly, if I have to go instead for the non-locking blade, I will go for this one, the Boker Trans Plus. I think it's 42, the non-locking one. Which is okay, for a non-locking blade is a nice little knife, I guess. And yeah, not pretty much no use basically, because if I'm taking this, I'm also taking my Victorinox GAC knife, which is probably the one that I end up using the most. I think this last year, this is the blade that I've used the most for general purpose use. Anything that needed to be poking a little hole or cutting a little bit of something, this is usually the one that I would have. And if it was instead wood that I needed to cut, I also had the saw here. Your average screwdriver, any screw that needed tightening a little bit, this is what I would end up using. And yeah, basically a simple tool that just works very well for a number of things. Now, there are a few developments which I'll let you guys know in the future, but I'm looking at having to change a few things because of some, I'll keep you guys updated as time goes by, but I'm looking to get something else in terms of a knife in the near future. I'm thinking of getting something like Voyager, but in a Tanto tip, the large Voyager. This is my old school cold steel Tanto. The Tanto blade is pretty nice. You know, it's very sturdy. The thing that I do not like about their latest models is that this full flat grind thing, I think it's completely stupid. I think that it's the kind of thing you should have in a chef's knife, but not in a utility knife. I think it makes no sense whatsoever. At least for me, it doesn't. I liked it much better when they had that classic saber grind blade. Tougher, stronger, and for anyone worth anything in terms of knives, you would still be able to sharpen your knife properly. Saber grind was razor sharp just as well, but much stronger. You know, it's a pretty big blade. It's not, for me, it's a medium-sized blade, even though it is the large model. But with a saber grind, it would have been much stronger than it already is. Given the size, you can somewhat get away with it a little bit, but the tip is still quite fragile. You have to be careful. And since we're talking about tips that do break, we have here the Kershaw lifter. I've been using it quite a bit lately. I like it. You know, this is the one that right after I bought it, I broke the tip. Send it back to Kershaw. They just sent me a new knife, so great for them in terms of customer service. The blade shape is just fantastic. I've been using it around the house quite a bit lately, and I just love the way it just shreds through stuff. You know, that recurved edge. Recurved edges have that. You know, I'll take a recurved edge over a serrated blade any day of the week. You know, it's still a straight edge, which means I can sharpen it quickly, easily. You know, anyone that knows how to sharpen a knife shouldn't have much of a problem with that. And it's just a little bit of an extra step sharpening the Tanto tip, but this combination is fantastic. Recurve with Tanto tip just works great for a number of things. You know, if you're looking for something specifically carving, maybe your classic clip point is better, you know, for that kind of detail work and such, which is what I basically ended up doing myself when I slightly customized my Victorinox. That little tip there works great for, you know, small detail cuts. But for something tough, strong, and has good penetration, Tanto works very nice. And that recurved shape just, you know, claws through stuff. It just gets in there very nicely and just tear. I mean, it cuts so much better. The recurved edge cuts, digs into the material that's cutting in ways that a normal blade of that same length would not do. So if you have, for example, a straight blade such as this one, and this one is just going to be taking advantage of that geometry so much better than this straight Tanto blade. So yes, those are basically the things that I'm looking at right now. I don't think that I'm missing anything. You know, maybe most of the upgrades and changes regarding EDC has been the clothes. I'm going more for using more synthetics, using more merino wool for my t-shirts, the 50-50 blend jeans, that sort of thing, which is stuff that I've covered in previous videos. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm looking to use a little bit more my North Face bag, you know, waterproof, it's built like a tank, very strong. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on any new stuff that I'm working with, any new comments and some more thoughts. Folks, it's gonna be all for now. Remember to subscribe, take care. Oh yeah, watch still the same as always is the Casio Pro Trek Solar. I don't think it's been beaten yet in terms of a great watch with a ton of functionality and just very strong and reliable. So yeah, folks, that's gonna be all. Take care and see you on our next video. Have a great day.